Hey, 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 hey. We are live. Happy Thursday, everyone. Before we start too far, I do want to apologize to everyone coming in, those watching the replay, and everybody. Here's a little secret. I got it all set up to go live, and guess what happened? Yeah, exactly. I fell asleep. First time ever, y'all. Falling asleep before the stream. So I guess y'all can that little box that you need to check off.
Mm-hmm.
Provide falling asleep before live stream. You got it.
Well, there is a first time for everything, so at least we were able to wrangle everybody here together.
Right. I still don't know how I woke up even.
No, I was sitting here. We were trying to figure out exactly. We were trying to figure out what had happened, and all of a sudden, I could see Mariah, and I realized you must have hit a button somewhere because.
Right. Yeah. So.
Well, we are here now.
Yeah. Hey, I feel like, dude, I'll put the topic up tonight right away. That way, everybody can be thinking about it. Now you probably already know it, but you know what? Problems in your tank, the aquatic pets can't fix. And welcome in, everyone. I'm not gonna go through the whole chat, y'all. There's too many comments, y'all. So I'm gonna go to fishtime.link and see if fishtime.link has pulled up the live stream over there. Let's see. If it hasn't, I can go down to the list who's all participating. That'd be a quick, easy way to get everybody on chat. Yeah, there you go. I wasn't sure because Foxy's fishies were having a little trouble with it. You got TJ Alcross, D. Finden, Jeff Kane, Outside Aquatics, Nancy B, Joe, which is price tag, Holly Hill Design, Stephen P, Scar Aquatics, Craig Catfish, Mechanics Aquatics, Wayway, and Dennis Christensen. Welcome in, y'all. All right. So, long time no see, TJ and Mariah, and everyone. For those who don't know, we didn't hang out backstage before it started very much. we said hi and went live.
It was just an acclimation period. No different than we would do for new fish vibes. We had to give you a little acclimation back into consciousness.
Is he breathing okay? I think we might need to add a bit of salt.
You seemed like you were took you a minute, but then once we got you all fired up, you were in good shape. So I knew we were going to be okay.
Yeah. Hey, welcome in, Adele. And I do want to shout out Scary Nona. If you're still here, I seen that you commented it on the live stream down in the chat earlier today. So you're the first one according to YouTube. Stephen P. Second link was like, hurry up and go live.
Mm-hmm.
I know Stephen, right?
Oh, Mike Shady Grady says, I think you missed some people that have been waiting patiently.
Aw. Yeah, I probably did. Hey, Mike, welcome in. Thank you. Yeah.
Mike, I hope you're doing all right. He had quite the surgery. It seems like everything is going well from what I can tell. But he's in the recovery process. So, Mike, hopefully you're doing all right, and the road to recovery is a pretty good one for you.
Sorry, I just on my phone. The whole stack of Texas.
Yeah, I was like, you guys okay?
That would be us.
Yeah, and then Mariah's like, I'm here, I'm backstage, and I was like, me too. And you got a voicemail from me.
That's gonna be interesting.
You still leave voicemails?
Huh?
You still leave voicemails?
Well, yeah, because I didn't know exactly what was going on, so I was like, vibes. It's Todd. What's going on, man? Just checking on
Are
you.
you okay? You alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, like I said, my apologies. That was not my plan, but
You needed the sleep, I guess, so it's okay.
I guess.
It's
Wow.
all right, man. It happens.
I understand. Trust me.
Yep, no biggie. We're here now. We got a great topic, and we got the three of us together with all of our friends in chat, so we're in good shape.
And I did got my list on my phone, y'all.
And I got mine on my notebook paper.
Stop rubbing it in. And Mariah has it in her head. I like it.
Well, because let's be honest, she's the brains behind the operation.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not quite. I'm just a very, very busy woman, and I didn't have time to write anything down when I got home. I
Okay.
had to get home, cook dinner, and do laundry. So yeah.
Oh
then
boy.
get on here.
Ooh. Well, welcome in, Melvin. Okay. Oh, actually, before we hit the topic, there's a comment I want to put up.
Go for it.
Skull Aquatics. Which cut his face makes you tired. That's the problem, Skull. That is the problem. I did not have it yesterday or today. That's what it is. I need.
I hope
I
not.
tried
As
some
hot
cottage
as it's
cheese.
been,
Is what?
as hot as it's been, I hope he's not eating no cottage cheese.
No, he didn't. Sounds like, but now he's not sure. Oh, Curtis
Be
says it
feeling
makes
your
you
stomach.
tired if you have too much of it, and he says he hasn't had any, and so. Although he has so much that he's probably finely tuned, like caffeine, right? He needs the right. He needs it to keep him going.
He's got a high tolerance.
Yeah.
It's called the withdrawal from it. I mean,
You were suffering withdrawals, and that causes you sleepiness. I see. Sam is here. Did you say hi to Sam?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Sam is awesome. I think he was one of my first moderators. I'm not even sure. I think he was. I don't know. It's been so long ago. But
he's an active one now.
Yeah. Okay. Problems in your tank that aquatic pets can't fix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start it off.
Have at it, my man.
Using assassin snails to get rid of other snails.
Yeah.
Here's a quick side note, y'all. I might be stepping on some people's toes tonight, but you know what? This is a way that we can all learn. You know, it might help someone else out. So go ahead.
No. I was gonna say it's just you. So I think we approached it a little bit differently, where it sounds like maybe you're gonna have examples of specific creatures that you're gonna use for specific problems, and I looked at it from kind of why you can't necessarily use an aquatic pet to solve problems in your aquarium. So a little more broad. So this will be really interesting. But I know that there's one that really links together to what you just said, and that I feel like usually when you try to do that, you're only masking the problem.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of my tonight examples or questions, answers. Yeah, it's kind of like a band-aid.
Right.
So
yeah,
basically, get to the root of the problem. It's more the story. Yeah,
you're trying to get rid of the problem, and I think this can be said for a lot of our hobby, where it's easy to do something just to get rid of the problem, but then you become dependent on whatever that solution was because you didn't actually solve the source of the problem, right?
Right.
And in the case that you bring up, hey Berto,
and
in
the
case that you brought up, right? So you're using assassin snails to cure a pond snail, bladder snail,
Mhm.
whatever type of snail infestation. And so in a case like that, right? So what's your thought process around the snail infestation?
Yeah. Hey, welcome in, Nathan. Instead of going that route, figure out what's causing the overabundance of those snails. Are you feeding too much? Maybe back off feeding. Instead of feeding twice a day or once a day, maybe do every other day, or skip one day out of a week.
Mm,
The reason that snails are there, they're there to clean up the uneaten food, y'all. It's a
mhm.
result of overfeeding. It can be. So instead of doing another, hey, as the tip, even assassin snails can get a pain.
Can be a pain.
Yeah, so doing
Mhm.
another object or something else may not be the best option.
Oh, well, because you could end up with getting rid of one problem and trading it for another.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Now, hey, y'all, I'm not saying tonight that you cannot get a clean crew or fish that balance out the system. I'm not saying that, but instead of don't do it just because of that.
Right. Right. But I think this whole topic that we've got here is born out of the idea that people look for the quick fix.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And so, I've talked many times about the struggles I had with my community aquarium. It took me 3 years to figure out how to kind of level out the system and get rid of the algae. And, there's lots of little easy fixes that you can try along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then you're kind of stuck with that, whatever that fix is, because
Right.
it's only going to last for so darn long. So, um, yeah, but I think it's one of those that it's you picture this beautiful aquarium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything you see, if you look in a magazine or online, or you look at you pick the large aquatic product brand packaging, beautiful crystal clear water. You go home all excited, you set the thing up, and a month later, you've got some sort of problem.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so all you know is that this is not the dream that you were sold or that you sold yourself, right?
Right.
And now
Mhm.
it's like, how do I fix it, right? And so it becomes this kind of slippery slope of, okay, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? And in the case you brought up, I've got all these, bladder snails, for instance. What do I
Right.
do? Oh, you go to the pet store, and sometimes they perpetuate those problems around just get some assassin snails, and they'll go after them.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I heard someone say one time just to put some clown roaches in there.
Yeah,
Mm,
I've heard the same thing. Now that does not mean it don't work. But then again, are you trying to take a band-aid to cover up a hurt? Kind of thing. But,
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Nancy said get some puffers.
hey, that's
That
not a bad thing.
I mean,
That can be a
that
good thing.
actually is a solution that would technically work, and
Right.
it would
Mhm.
turn your problem into a huge benefit,
Yes.
right?
If the other fish that were in that aquarium were compatible with puffers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Or
Yeah.
just do what we all do and just buy another aquarium and get your puffers.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Right? So now you've got a snail problem. Okay? So you've built this beautiful aquarium. Everything was going fine for 3 weeks. Week 4, snail infestation. You don't want to do the quick fix because the 3 of us told you not to do that. So bing bam boom. Now you've got another aquarium. You got yourself a little group of puffers. And now they're solving your problem that's in the other original aquarium that is overrun with the snails.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
That to me feels like fish keeper math.
And
Yeah,
now
definitely. It's mathing. It's
Yeah,
mathing.
it is.
It's doing it.
And then 6 months later, you have 10 aquariums. Well, welcome to the club. You're one of us now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Our job is officially done here.
Yep. So in that case, good night, everyone. Okay.
Nancy
Go
says
ahead.
she sees no problem with our math. I like that. Very good.
Okay. Go ahead, TJ. You got something for us?
Mm-hmm. Let's see, which one do I want to go with?
The fourth one.
They don't know that you expect them to do a job and they might not do it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I like it.
They are a living creature that make their own decisions on a day-to-day basis. I mean, it's hard to argue that when you're chasing them with a net and they don't have a choice about going in whatever aquarium you put them in. But beyond that, if there's no human intervention, they're going to do what they think they should do. And it may not be to go after that patch of algae because they might have found something much more delicious in some other area. And so, I think we have to remember that you didn't go and post a job up at the pet store and you had a little goldfish that said, I'm applying. You went and you picked it up and you put it in the aquarium, and then it decides what it's going to do. And it may just decide, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in that. I would much rather just go over here and float. And that's kind of that next stage for the fish keeper, right? So the new fish keeper is like, great, I'm going to solve it. And all of a sudden that fish that was going to go in, right? And then all of a sudden it's not doing anything.
Nope. And then with that goldfish, since it's not doing anything, and then they got the algae going on, they're like, well, I'll just go to the store, back to the pet store, and I'll get a common pleco and throw it in this 10-gallon tank along with this goldfish.
Yeah.
And because plecos are algae eaters, right? They're bottom feeders, right? So they'll eat the algae and they'll eat the poop and they'll eat all the
all
waste.
of it.
Oh,
absolutely all of it.
They'll just
right?
eat all of it because
And
fish definitely eat poop, right?
And I'm never going to have to clean this aquarium again. How beautiful is this?
I mean, like what? That's one big thing is that a lot of new fish keepers think that there's some type of special magical fish that you can throw into the aquarium that is going to just make it to where you have to do no maintenance. And they forget that that fish is also going to poop and create waste. And you still have to clean the tank. No matter how many cleaner crew fish that you have in your tank, you still have to do your own maintenance.
These are words to live by from Mariah to any of the new fish keepers that maybe are out there lurking. I have to shout out one comment as a very proud human resources professional. Steven said he gives his fish annual performance reviews. I love it.
Nice. I like it. I like it. So, Steven, is there a list for all those reviews? I want to see it. That'd be awesome, really. Hey, GNC, welcome in. As a quick side note, y'all are special. You get to see it. This was just a bit ago. My clown roaches decided to do a dance against all standing side by side, and then the I guess the director is in the back, the big guy.
I'm pretty sure that is a clown loach search party that was going out there looking for where you were because you were late for the live stream.
Yeah. You're not gonna let this go right away, huh?
Not right away. I mean, by next Thursday, it's gonna be a distant memory, but
right. Right. But hey, so anyway, I thought that was interesting. I had to share that with y'all.
I like it. That's cool. Those clown loaches are beautiful. Mariah, what you got?
Oh, that was actually I was kind of piggybacking off of yours because it kind of went into my first one as well, which
Mm-hmm.
was there's no fish that you can put in your tank that is going to do the maintenance for you.
Yep. Yep. I think
Like
that's
for
right.
instance, I overheard one of my colleagues telling someone the other day. It's a fairly new colleague, to be fair. Um, so they haven't really had a lot of experience with fish or animal care or just in general. Um, but I overheard them telling them that getting a bunch of autosynclists would do well to help clean their 55-gallon South American cichlid tank
Hmm.
that's having a bunch of algae issues. And when the guy described the type of algae it was very obvious he was describing black hair algae.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why would you suggest either of those things for each other? They wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Autos in the
The
Central
autosimplest
Americans.
that are sold
Mm.
at PetSmart are super, super tiny.
Yep.
You put them in a really well established, pretty large South American cichlid tank, they're gonna get eaten.
Mm-hmm.
They're absolutely gonna get eaten. They're so small that they're pretty much feeder fish at that point.
Yeah.
Get down.
Snack time.
Yep. What's next on your list there, Vibes?
And since we're on this topic, anyways, right now about algae,
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with that because that's on my list. Using plecos to get rid of algae.
Oh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because
Using plecos to get rid of algae.
don't all plecos eat algae though, Vibes?
Yeah, they do. I mean,
Yeah.
from the tiny to the adult, I mean, they just eat. But once they quit, then the pleco you gotta take back to the fish store. You see.
Oh, is that so?
And
They get too good for the algae when
right,
they get older.
right.
You
Yeah.
got to take them
So
back
you
and
trade them
start with
in,
a new
yeah,
recruit.
exactly.
I see. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, or if you know, if they won't take it back at the store, you could always flush it.
right. I mean,
Oh, well, okay, man.
You guys,
You guys make
really quick, full disclaimer, this is all
it's satire.
sarcasm
Yeah,
and satire. So
yeah.
yes,
We're not
yes.
just
suggesting
wanted to
anybody
let that be
does any of
known.
this. And going back to
Yeah,
those
please do
potential
not.
lurkers that are new, don't listen to anything we just said.
You're right.
Uh,
This
I
is
was I
definitely
was
satire.
Yeah, I was asking Vibes because certainly there are some plecos, bristlenose are a good example, that do eat algae.
Hmm.
There are
Yeah,
others that are primarily meat eaters.
right. And quick side note:
Yep.
even though bristlenose do eat algae to a certain extent, I have noticed in my keeping of fish that once they get to a certain size, they kind of back off from eating algae,
Hmm.
and they're just a big blob in the tank
Mm.
that makes it messy in the tank.
Yep.
So just because they supposedly eat algae, don't depend on it.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what's causing it.
And something else too is the fact that a lot of plecos, like through out of all the plecos that there are, something to remember is that they definitely range significantly in sizes as well. There's some
Yes.
that don't get more than about 5 or 6 inches. And then there's some that, as y'all know, can become behemoths and get well over 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
So what Mariah's telling y'all, do your research before you get the fish. That pleco that you
Hmm.
think is going to get that's that size right now, it may get humongous.
Wait,
So be
5 feet,
careful.
did you say?
They do not grow to the size of their tank.
That's true.
Hey, Funk. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
He says he
Hey,
always
Funk.
makes everybody's day better sometimes. Nice.
Yeah. I like that, Funk. Hey, you showed up. You made my day that much better. So you did a good job, Funk. I appreciate it.
Even if the
And
only person whose day you made better was yours, you still made someone's day better.
Hey, also true. Yep.
While behind the chat, I do want to catch some comments. Hey, Fallon. I'll put Eddie in my tanks, and he's doing my maintenance. Fallon, I probably like since I was late and all this, I probably more like a clown loach. So I won't be too good of a cleaner because I just fall asleep randomly.
Hmm. I mean, that's you proved that.
And I get really big, y'all. A clown loach gets really big.
Hmm. Did you fall asleep right in that chair?
I did.
Okay.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, because I also noticed when I called you, it didn't go to voicemail on its own. It was helped.
Uh oh. I must. I must
Uh-huh.
have bumped it
Uh-huh.
half
Uh-huh.
awake.
So that was an indication for me that things were probably okay. Because
My
initially,
boy hit that red button.
Mariah and I were like, he texted us 2 hours ago. What the heck happened? And I noticed it only made 3 rings before it went to voicemail. So I was like, that seems like someone
Oh,
must have
3
hit.
rings? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that was sent to voicemail.
That was sent to voicemail. That was, yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whoops.
Disrespectful. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, called out. Yep, I know, right?
He had to,
Hey,
he had to
Audrey.
wipe the drool off first.
Exactly.
That's just part of the
Anyway,
acclimation process.
back to the topic
Okay.
about the plecos.
Yep.
So why is there algae in the tank? Why? Now algae. Hey, if you haven't watched the prior live streams back on Vibes Aquatic's channel, there is topics usually every Thursday night, and even before a year ago, we had topics that we talked about some of these things. But algae is not a bad thing. It's a result. Now, a little algae in your tank is actually a good thing. Too much, it gets kind of you can't see the fish, or your maintenance is daily, you know. But quick way to fix it: check your lighting schedule. Is it on for too long? There's too many nutrients in the tank. What's causing the algae? The algae is eating the extra nutrients. So maybe your light was on more than 8 hours a day. Now, I'm not saying 8 hours is perfect to dial in, but with all my tanks, 8 hours is about pretty good accuracy. Most of my tanks. Now, there's a few that I do a little less, others I can do a little more. It's okay. So, go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, HEB, and buy one of those. Now, most of your lights today, the clam lights, had timers built in. But if you don't have them built in, go buy one of those manual or even those automatic timers. They plug into your outlet and plug the light into the timer, and you can adjust it. Now, I know most of my lights do have timers built in, but I'm too old school for that. I'm ignorant, or I don't have patience to set it up. Anyways, I just go buy timers, the manual ones, with the little buttons. It's like a dial that turns.
Yep. I'm familiar with it.
It's very simple for me. I use it for all mine. There's only one tank, the saltwater tank. Now that light is too fancy for me, so I had to go to the app, set that thing up. But all my other ones are on timers. This old school manual ones, which is simple.
Yeah, I use the Wi-Fi timers.
Yeah,
and they work.
They
work
my
kind of
hand.
quite well.
Yeah.
I just walk over there and turn it on.
if it works for you,
You're your
don't
own
change it.
timer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The light on
Uh,
this one usually stays on closer to 10 hours usually a day,
Yeah.
but it's a super cheap white LED strip. It's got the blue light on it too, of course. Y'all
Yeah.
have seen that. But I mean, I don't really have any issues with any algae. But I also try not to overfeed, and the tank doesn't really, it gets absolutely no sunlight whatsoever through the windows.
Yeah, and it's a deeper tank, so if it's a
Mhm.
fairly low powered light, it has the possibility of not getting all the way down to the bottom of the aquarium and maybe holds off,
Right.
in building up some of the algae.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think in my mind, none of us here can accurately tell you what is going to work.
No.
We can
Right.
make suggestions, right? And so that, that 8-hour time period, that's a good starting point, I think, in
Mhm.
general. I will tell you in my tanks that don't have plants, right? So in my cichlid tanks, I don't. Now we've talked about it
Right.
before, and they can, but I just haven't set them up that way. And
Right.
I think that those are only on for about 3 hours a day
Yeah.
because it just
Um.
doesn't need the light.
Mm.
Mhm. Uh, Now here's a quick fix.
Mhm.
Get rid of the algae. Clean the glass. Get rid of the algae, and
Mhm.
turn the lights off for a couple of days. That'd be
Mhm.
a quick, easy fix until
Yep.
you can figure out what's causing it. Because that
Mhm.
will, hey, FYI, I got a tilt back here. I'm still messing with it. I have not figured it all out yet. But
Mhm.
for a while, the algae, it was bad. I mean, I had the lights on, the same as in my other tanks, but
Yep.
the balance of nutrients was way off. Anyways,
Yep.
so I turned it off I had them off
Mm.
for a whole week. Besides the lights from other aquariums around it was shining on it. But other than
Yep.
that, within a week, the algae, which was horrible hair algae, to nothing. It was yeah.
Yep. I think the other thing, and this is something that I credit Steven with, I've heard him speak on his live streams about, and I think I've talked about it on our stream before, but I will again just for the topic here. He talks about making sure you don't make too many changes at once,
Yes.
right? And give it time to work. So, I think he suggests something like 3 weeks or something like that is what it's going to take for you to really see if what you've done has made a change. So, I think it's natural for us to, again, we want that quick fix. So, oh my gosh, I watched one video. It said my light was on too long. I did that. And oh my gosh, it said, that I needed to do more fertilizer, and it said that I needed to feed less. And, things start to change. But at that point, you have no idea what worked.
Right.
So if it doesn't completely fix it, or all of a sudden it brings a new problem up, you're
Mm-hmm.
starting from
Change
exactly
it.
where you were before, right? So I
Right.
think it's
Right.
important to, to try and change one thing, let it rest and be, and see what happens. If it doesn't make any impact, then either it wasn't enough of a change, or that wasn't the change you needed to make. It's all about getting that
Mhm.
very careful balance.
Mm-hmm. And like Steven said, to fight algae, grow the plants more. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Basically, um, the food that the algae eats, feed it to your plants instead.
Mm-hmm. I
Mhm.
needed in the community aquarium, I needed more light and more fertilizer.
So basically, starve the algae is the idea.
Right.
If you don't like if you don't like the algae.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though, with a planted tank that does have issues with algae, you do have to be careful with the balance of light as well, like you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Because I mean, of course, you want to have a good enough amount of time and everything for your plants to be able to grow sufficiently and get the light that they need. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, you still want to be able to make sure that the algae isn't able to feed off of that light as well at
Yep.
the same time,
Right.
Yep.
faster than your plants can absorb the nutrients that the algae is trying to get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Ross.
Hey Ross, welcome in. So, TJ, you got another one for us?
Yeah, I got a two-parter here.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to do the first part, and then I'll give you the second part.
Okay.
You don't want to use your aquatic pets to fix the problems in your tanks because they may be part of the problem.
Whoa!
Mhm.
Ouch. Uh-huh. And like how?
So maybe you have too many aquatic pets in your aquarium. So the bio load is too much. And all of a
Mhm.
sudden it's created some sort of issues of an imbalance. So getting more
yeah, it's worse.
is not going to reverse that problem.
So
Right.
how will you suggest reversing that problem to start with?
Yeah, I think
Once the problem occurs, how
Yep.
do you fix that?
yeah, once you're in it, right? I think
Mhm.
you're kind of in my mind, if it is a nutrient imbalance, right? There's too much nutrients, there's too much waste. They're not going to fix it, right? You've got to fix it. And so, yes, you can cut back a little bit on feeding potentially. Maybe that is an
Mhm.
issue. Maybe you're feeding 4 times a day because every time you walk up, like we talked last week, you walk up to the aquarium and they look hungry. So, oh gosh, I got to give them more food, right? So there's that. But the other thing is then you better pick up your maintenance, right? If you're only changing water once a month, you got to do it more frequently. Try every
Mhm.
2 weeks. Try once a week if you need to, right? What you need to do is you've got to then at that point, you're not going to be able to add something that all of a sudden is going to fix it for you.
Right.
That's a situation where they're creating the problem. They're creating the problem because of their very presence in that
Mhm.
case.
Right.
So the way it sounds, if you keep up with your maintenance on a regular schedule, and often enough, that problem should dissipate.
hmm it could, yeah.
Yeah.
In that example, it could, right? But
Mhm.
there could be all kinds of other problems. Say you have an issue where you're facing aggression issues. That's a problem.
Yes, big one.
You can't just depend on I'm just going to add more fish and fix it. The
Mhm.
fish that you've put in there obviously have some reason why there's an issue. Now
Mhm.
you may be able to do that and spread out the aggression, but you could just make it worse. So
Right.
Right.
you really have to diagnose what your problem is. Why are you facing this issue? Why is there aggression? Have you put the wrong fish together? Are they in the wrong aquarium? Do you not have the aquarium set up in a way that can minimize their territorial nature? Right? All of those kinds of challenges, they're not going to fix for you. The way they're going to fix it is they're going to, pick the odd man out, and maybe that restores peace, and maybe not. Maybe they pick a new one and the
Right.
mayhem continues. So this is where we have to be very active in our hobbies to
Mhm.
figure out what the heck is happening and not rely on them to sort out their own stuff. Because again, they're domesticated wild creatures. They're just living life. They have no idea that anything is different. They're doing their day-to-day functions just in a small glass box that they have learned is their territory. That's it. So, it's not something where they're going to think through this and say, "Oh boy, well I shouldn't be fighting, so I'm going to stop." Like there isn't that right? They don't have that level of conscience to say this is wrong. This is what they are,
Right.
you know, innately expecting that they should do.
Right. But yeah, but actually, some okay. I know some of the fish know better because when I show up, like, oh, okay, the boss is there, back off, y'all. It's a totally different attitude. It's kind of weird. So there's some wisdom involved with that somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
'Cause for instance, vibes, the Fantosa over here. That guy is always trying to pick fights with the other ones.
Yep.
Well, I look over, he's back back in the corner and say, I did nothing wrong. Just innocent and ever. I look away and he's back at it again. So they kind of know what to be expected, you know?
Oh, I think they're way more intelligent than people who don't keep fish would give them credit for.
Hmm.
The problem is that they have the intelligence to know what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
they don't have like our human level of the conscience to say, oh, that's the wrong thing to be doing, right? They're going to do what they think is natural and probably not have so much of that inhibition to say, well, wait a second, I got to stop fighting. So that's where we have to step in and figure out what's going on. And I just would like to say I feel very honored to have Father Fish come in here and say that was sound advice. I think all three of us try really hard to provide good advice, and to have that validated is great. So thank you for providing that feedback.
Yeah, welcome in, Father Fish. I appreciate
Father
you coming
Fish,
in.
hello. I've been trying to reach you actually on Instagram.
And welcome in, SWFL Aquatics. And Maritime Fish Keeper, welcome in.
Hey, y'all.
Okay. You said you had part 2.
I got part 2. Are you ready for it? Meaning our aquatic pets may be part of the problem. Part 2 is we are almost certainly part of the problem.
Did you just say I'm part of the problem?
Yes.
Ouch.
I am looking at you, Vibes, when I say that we cannot rely on our aquatic pets to fix the problem, because we are almost certainly part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you're saying, we need to remove ourselves from the equation?
No.
No.
We need to be
We need to be
active.
more involved in the equation.
That's right. Exactly. And we need to educate ourselves. And we need to be willing to experiment with trying to solve it. And you have to be a bit of a problem solver. You have to try and figure out, and you have to not let it beat you. I think it's easy when things get hard to let that beat you. And that's why we see countless people, they keep an aquarium for a number of months and then they're done because they can't figure it out. And right, they don't know what to do. And you can't, this is not a hobby, at least my viewpoint, it's not a hobby for quitters, right? It's not a hobby for those that aren't willing to put in the work, right? The reason that you see beautiful aquariums is because there's someone behind it that is working. Now, the thing that we have to remember is every input that we put into that aquarium has the potential to cause a problem. And again, your fish aren't going to solve that. And so, you can't look at them and they're going to fix your feeding habits, because they're just going to look at you and they're going to say, I need more. Flat out. They're not going to go in there and tell you, hey, Vibes, your fertilizing schedule is a little lax, man. Right? These plants aren't growing, right? You are feeding algae like a madman, and you got to, like, there's not gonna be a little sign that they write and they hang on the side of the aquarium like, step it up, dude. So you can't rely on them, because it's us.
It's kind of like the memes I've seen, the plecos riding on the glass. They don't do that.
They don't do that. Nope. They're not going to be doing that for you, right? So
you'll see one of your fish swimming out of a little cave with a little red flag, like, "Hey, time to do something."
Now that would be kind of cool,
right? Well, then I wouldn't be able to use this example, because then they would be part of the solution. But I am sorry, friends, to say that if you are part of the solution or part of the problem, you've got to be part of the solution, because your fish aren't going to get it done for you, or shrimp, or any other creature, snails, whatever.
So what you're saying is basically you got a problem now. So either do more research or find a club or group that you can trust, or even a live stream, that does a weekly live stream. Ask them. There's a good chat. Someone in the chat or on panel will either have gone through the same thing you're going through it now and can help you out.
That's right.
Hey, some of y'all might. Hey, I've heard in the past. Oh, he's a YouTuber. Oh, he knows what he's doing.
Mm.
Just because someone on camera does not mean they know what they're doing.
That's
It just
absolutely
means that
true.
they tried in the past and it's worked for them in the past. That's all it is.
Mhm.
Vibes.
Mhm.
They're part of the problem.
I know, right?
That's true.
So that's the other thing. Is not only are all of us part of our own problems, we have the potential to be somebody else's problem,
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yes.
right?
So yeah. Basically, YouTubers or people who do content are basically put on the spotlight. That's what it is.
hmm Steven said best advice of the night from Vibes. Yep, absolutely.
Oh, thanks, Steven. Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Go for it. It's all you, my man.
Here's a new one. Now, y'all can't see it, but I did put a live stream out earlier this week about the tank behind me. Anyways, side note, those are Tropheus, Kasanga. Anyways, don't use Tropheus cichlids to remove BBA from the aquarium.
Not gonna do it, huh?
Well, temporarily it might,
Mm-hmm.
but you got a problem then.
That's right.
You have the fish yet, or you got to do your maintenance either way. But quick side note, I didn't notice if y'all been watching the channel for a while, you would know this thing behind me had struggled with BBA for a long time. Struggled? I take it back. It has had plenty of BBA. It didn't bother me because I was keeping it trained in that tank, so it didn't bother me too much. It just some people were saying it's ugly. I was actually at the point, like, you know what? Let's keep it that way. It's kind of cool. But that's when I realized that the Tropheus actually ate it. They totally destroyed this stuff. I put them in on a Saturday. By the next Saturday, that BBA was gone.
Wow.
Where I mean, I had big, it was like big, humongous clumps waving. You know, it was actually pretty cool. The black thing. Anyway, it was. It
took care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So, and it has come back since. So they're definitely keeping a check on it. Now I have changed the nutrients in the tank, so that might have been what needed when the nutrients changed a little bit, the imbalance. So.
I like what Jake and/or Katie said. They said define the problem, find out if it's an actual problem, or for the fish or for you.
Ooh, I like that. I like
right?
it.
Right? That speaks to a whole right. Again, it goes back to that. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have the most perfect aquarium. It's gonna look like the aquascaping contests that I've seen, where a tank is right. It's set up, specifically for one picture,
Right.
and then taken back down, and then it doesn't happen like that.
Right.
No.
And then you're
Right,
crushed.
Yeah. A quick side tip. Those perfect tanks you see at Aquafella or online, those are not idealized as a normal aquarium for your fish habitat, because a lot of those tanks, if you see those tanks a month after those set up, they go through the same kind of phase, y'all. They go different kind of algae, some even weird algae, some white fuzz. I've seen it. That's another thing. That tank just last week was beautiful. It was like the number one top, the line, and so I like that. Is it fun for the fish or for you? What's your goal? Is your goal to make your friends think you know what you're doing, or is your goal to give your aquatic pets the best life?
Well, exactly. That to me is the difference, right? I think you've proved it with your multi-tank.
Yeah,
they're doing great. there are people, and mine is not much different, right? Where I've got algae that continues to grow, and
Yep.
they're doing very well. They're raising lots of babies, right? Everything seems to be going fine. They're probably 4+ years old at this point and seem to be going strong. But there are people that would look at it and say, "Oh my gosh, like it looks terrible," and it's like, well, it this is kind of natural.
Right.
Hey, welcome in, Sal. Some of y'all probably wondering, yeah, we talking about your tanks all the time, about your multi, your show rollers, but we don't see them anytime. Hey, quick side note, quick. Behind this Fantosa over here, they're behind them there. The reason they're not out, you can see them, because I have got a little bit of a negative effect having tanks on the camera that ain't worthy. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you want to see those tanks, come back on a live stream that I'm doing maintenance, and then you'll see them. And then it's like, hey, I'm doing maintenance on them. You'll see them now. So, which I kind of understand that, because you want to encourage people to get in the hobby, not show an ugly tank going to the beginner and discourage them. You know what I mean? I understand that.
I think I beg to differ on that, Vibes. I think I have to
Go ahead.
disagree.
I want to hear this.
I think you should show off your tanks when they're dirty. Show them off when they're dirty. Show them off when they're clean. Show off when you have a fish die. Show it off, because that's the real part of the hobby. That's what's truly gonna happen, and they're gonna have those scenarios. They're gonna have situations. Life is gonna happen. You might have an extra busy week and not really feel up to scraping the algae off of your glass, but the fish are doing fine. Those things happen in the hobby, and it's perfectly okay as long as it's not affecting the quality of life of your fish. So I think it's good to show those things, and I don't think you should let the negative opinions impact your decision to show your tanks like you were previously on live streams.
Right.
And regardless of the condition that they're in.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that I think there are people that are out there that are dealing with the same thing, and if all they ever see are these beautiful show quality tanks, they're going to think, "What am I, a failure?" And it's not that at all. The tank has a different purpose, and people aren't necessarily sharing all the ugly truth. So I do believe that there is certainly an opportunity for us to improve that, to help these new folks that join and maybe come here and check the channel out, to have them understand that people that have kept fish for years still have these things going on. And just because it doesn't look, and I've used this analogy before, you don't clean your aquarium like you clean your house, right? You're not looking for spotless, right? It's not like I'm going to clean it because I'm trying to sell it and it's got to be perfectly everything in the right spot. This is it's an ecosystem, and ecosystems are imperfect.
Exactly.
Hey, welcome in, Stephen White, MNC.
Yep. First Class Fish, Sal, DJ Guppy Fish.
Just because I said hi to y'all doesn't mean I didn't see you. Sometimes the heat of the topic, we don't get too sidetracked from it, Oh.
No, but I think that was definitely a good point. I mean, even look at where they naturally come from, right? Outside the environment. Rivers and lakes and ponds and creeks are never actually always super clean. They're not going to be spotless. They're going to have dirt and grime and sludge and algae and dead things and waste. Granted, there's always, there's a natural water change constantly going on in nature, but outside of that, there's going to be swings in what happens in their natural environment, just like there will be in a tank. So like I said, it's perfectly okay to have those things be made aware of.
Yep.
Especially by new fish keepers in the hobby.
Yep. And I like Jake corrected me a little bit, and I like this. He said, depends on your definition of perfect, because I said it's not perfect. And I think that's right. I think, it's maybe not pristine looking is probably the better way to say it, but
There we go.
that doesn't mean it's not perfect for what you're trying to do. That doesn't mean it's not balanced in a way that is potentially perfect, right? So no, that's a good correction, Jake.
I think Ed's going live here in a bit, y'all.
I would agree. Yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up. I think there's a lot more to talk about than what we've talked about so far.
Sure.
I'm thinking there might be a part 2 in the future. I'm not sure about next week, but I've got a long list of stuff yet.
Nice.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So the moral of the story of this week is what? Okay.
The moral of the story is you can't rely on your aquatic pets to always be part of the solution of fixing issues in their aquariums. And if you are, in some cases, you're going to be masking the problem or potentially creating a new one, that for the old one. And that regardless, we have to be active participants in the process in some regard, whether it's just making decisions not to touch stuff, right? That is an option. Or making decisions that an intervention is needed for some reason because something has gone horribly wrong and you need to get it back to what it was. Does that sound reasonable?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was a big moral. Usually morals of the story are pretty short, but this one was you threw me a bit of a curveball there.
And Mariah, what should the hashtag be for those going over to watch Ed after this? The send over.
Hashtag set an alarm.
You guys.
Hashtag sleepy boy.
Hashtag sleepy vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like it. All right, y'all. I like it.
Oh. Hashtag acclimation process.
Oh.
Huh. Well, I like that even better, even. But that's kind of long.
It is. We can go with sleepy vibes.
I was even gonna make it longer. I was gonna say hashtag acclimate, hashtag bucket.
Hey, wow! We almost went a whole hour without saying bucket. That's pretty good.
Almost did it last week too. No, not gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, GZ, welcome in. Listening.
Hey, Rick. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. So yeah, hashtag sleepy vibes. Let's send over to Ed's stream. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, moderators, you mind putting his live stream link in the chat for those that want to go watch him after this? So before we head out, y'all, I do want to say a big thank you, a big apology to everyone waiting patiently. I appreciate that. So maybe next time, I just need to stay awake until we go live, huh?
Mm-hmm. That would help.
So TJ,
or just set your alarm.
Oh, we need to get you putting an alarm on that phone there, pal.
I like it. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So Mariah, what do you guys say to the community? The live time we head out.
Same thing as always, y'all. Thank you guys for having me on. Thank me and everybody. Antics as always. Those of you thanks for as always. How you want to be treated, and may God treat you how you treat animals and elders.
Excellent.
How about you, TJ?
Yep. So another fun evening. Thank you to my two co-hosts, Mariah and our fearless leader, Vibes. So it was great to be here with you guys. I enjoyed the heck out of the topic. Thanks to everybody who was in the live chat with us here, providing their input and helping to guide us, right? While we're up here talking about the topic, they're providing some guidance and some correction where it's necessary. I really appreciate everybody doing that, and look forward to another one next week. I will be on the road, but I should have no problems attending. I'll be visiting my place down in South Carolina, so I will be tuning in from a new location.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Hey, live. There you go, link, y'all. Anyways, thanks again to everyone coming out. Hopefully, this is gave you some answers to your questions. If not, hey, if you see info in the chat, do your research, and hey, stay positive. Positive vibes only. Peace out, y'all. Bye. Have a wonderful weekend, y'all. Until next time.
Bye, y'all.